But now we are getting some distance in the election of it all. Obviously, we'll still address it because it's SNL, but it's time to look at Charli XCX and musical guest Charli XCX. By the numbers, are you ready, Caroline?
I am.
Then let's do it. First up, we got the Trump and Biden meeting cold open. I thought this was going a different direction when they sent the press out of the room, but ultimately, like, there are some really good lines here that I had fun with. So I gave it the W.
I give it a W. Sarah as Matt Gaetz is haunting to me.
That is truly frightening. Truly frightening.
Very
And by
scary.
the way, a Please Don't Destroy film is announced during the open. More on that later. Now we are into Charli XCX's monologue. This was short and sweet, but I was surprised by Kyle Mooney. Still gave it the W.
I also give it a W. Kyle, what are you doing here?
And more on him later. I feel like I've said that 9 times this episode. All right, now we're looking at the baby shower, the return of Domingo. Actually, the continuation of this storyline, which I thought was kind of
Yes.
cool. Yeah.
I gave it a W. It was very soon to do another one, but I mean, it's a good time.
Only a month, but you know what? TikTok will love it, and all the Marcelo Hernandez's fans will love it.
They will.
Wicked auditions. I like these impression parades. But it kind of trailed off towards the end. It had a good thing going, and then like started not recognizing people. But so I did give it the L ultimately, but I like that they did another one of these.
Yeah, I gave it a tie because it just didn't really do too much for me, but we did get Bowen as Charli, which was fun.
Which is good, which we were hoping for. L altogether on that one. Thanksgiving cake competition was wild. That's all I have time to say. I gave it an L.
Yeah, I gave it an L. I like other versions of this much more.
Yeah, and more on not that particular image, but the other one later. Another digital short. I swear to God, if these kids don't start clapping to the title card, but this was incredible and a visual masterpiece. I love it.
Beautiful.
Yes, huge. Akiva killed it, like pretty much. I have more questions on that one too. Banger Boys, the podcast. It took a long time for SNL to parody these. I wish instead of like, they would have leaned more into satirization instead of like how well it's going for people like that, you know.
But it to be a little
but
sharper.
I did give it a W. Yeah, I was hoping for that. Weekend
good.
update, we'll get there. Charli XCX performances, huge W. I was actually mesmerized by Sympathy as a Knife.
Sympathy's a Knife is such a good song.
Yeah, and she nailed it. She really, she was yelling. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I can't say enough good about it. The Weekend Update jokes were on fire tonight. The Jeffrey Epstein one, the shot. I mean, my jaw was dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So good.
And Michael Che had a bit of a Norm Macdonald moment in one of the jokes. We'll talk about that later too.
Mm-hmm.
We got the interviews, the commentaries. Again, fantastic. Bowen always has the prop work, which I love.
Oh yeah, that is kind of becoming his thing now.
Yeah, it is. We want to do something crazy visually. Put Bowen in.
Right.
And then whatever Sarah does, she's always roasting Colin. So it's like I'm having fun with that too.
Yeah, perfect combo.
Exactly. This was this I didn't like much, but I really liked Charli in it. I still ultimately gave it the L.
I also gave it an L with the caveat that Charli was very good in it.
Mm-hmm. It Girl Thanksgiving special. There's a lot going on here. That's all I can say.
This was.
Yeah. Yep, that's really all I got. And it was wild to see a Julia Fox impression after we know she's here.
Just have her.
So I wonder which came first. Yeah, exactly. Shrek the Musical, I was so not sure, but this sold me big.
I liked it.
And it has that like insane writing style where you're like, am I the crazy one right now? You know?
Yes.
But a note from my roommate Ryan, who watched this episode with me. Shrek the Musical, not on Broadway. So a little bit inaccurate SNL, okay? Overall, did not do the numbers that I expected it to. I really thought this was going to be our first loss overall
I
on the
did too.
season. But between the two of us, 9 wins, 4 losses, and Charli XCX, come back anytime. Come back
He was
anytime.
great.
Yeah. And honestly, I think it was the commercial acting class. Again, while I wasn't a huge overall fan of that particular sketch, it was during that one where I was like, it locked in that like, she's actually kind of nailing it.
Yeah.
Top to
She's
bottom.
got it down.
That, you know, they didn't keep her on stage too long for the monologue, which was fine.
Mm-hmm.
All of these performances were crazy. One thing I did enjoy about Shrek the Musical is that you don't find out until 4 minutes into that sketch that Charlie's been calling Bowen by the wrong name the entire time.
That was amazing.
Bowen could have changed it to match, but he didn't.
Yeah,
and
he didn't.
It was even funnier. My name is Gadget.